another thing I learned was that when the generators are running and they're chopping up fish,
Yeah.
then everybody gets mad. The environmental people, the animal activist kind of people, even the guys that Corps of Engineers, nobody likes to chop up fish.
Right.
So what they found out was they built these aerators and they pumped oxygen into the water very much like you'd put air in an aquarium.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And they put it over to the side away from the generators. So the fish are down there swimming around and said, man, we can breathe so much better over here. There's oxygen in the water. Let's hang out over there. It's still cold, but we can breathe over there.
Okay.
And they say, you know, it's pretty stuffy over where the generators are. Let's just get away from there and hang out where the oxygen is.
Oh.
So that's
what that's for.
That's the purpose of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I read an article that the oxygen is very expensive because you got to have compressors, you know, like welder supplies. You got to buy tanks of oxygen and acetylene and stuff. Well, I mean, the oxygen, that's got to be, it takes pumps and pressure to get that oxygen in those containers. And I haven't seen them, or maybe I have. They got those big, like giant propane tanks on their oxygen in them.
Right.
And I think they periodically come and fill those up because they're pumping it out in, I think they got hoses, big hoses, multiple ones running out into the water, pumping oxygen in there. It's expensive. And then they found out that, well, they said, let's just try pumping plain air right out of the sky.
Right.
That's cheaper. So they found out that, no, as expected, it isn't as good as pumping pure oxygen.
Right.
But if they increase the amount of air by maybe 20%,
Right.
you know, 20 cents more of something that's about free to begin with is not that much more cost.
Right.
They get about the same results as using pure oxygen, but only 80% less, you know what I mean?
Right.
So they're starting to just pump just regular air and know that they got to just pump a little harder, but they don't have to buy oxygen.
Right.
So that's helpful.
That's awesome.
So it's all a bunch of good stories, right?
Yeah, it's all a bunch of good stuff. Now, do you need me to keep all this secret so other people won't come catch your giant bass before you get to it? Because I will if you say so. I'll store it till after you're famous, and then I'll put it up, and I'll be famous by association because I'll be the guy that was sitting in a boat with Jim Corey when he was talking about how he was going to catch the big record. See,
Well,
recorded it for
I
posterity.
mean, my stories are like 90% true. 10 of it could be error. And it's not on purpose. It's just because I don't know some of the facts exactly.
If my stories were 90% true, my YouTube fans would lose their minds because they're so not used to that kind of accuracy on my part. In fact, they know that I make up about, mine's like the opposite. Mine's like 90% not true, but they like the story so much they don't care. That's what Garrison Keillor said, you know. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not. He's a famous storyteller, but he said he gets paid for lying. He's a famous liar.
These fish are the same as the ones out in the Atlantic Ocean, these stripers, but they're not 100%. There's a Gulf strain and an Atlantic strain.
Yeah.
They're very, you and me couldn't tell the difference if they set a fish side by side, but I think if you did an autopsy on them and look at their chromosomes, you'd find a very, very slight difference.
You know, we're into the tree. There's one right there.
I know, but it's a good fishing spot.
Oh, yeah.
So wind it in a little bit so it maybe don't go quite as deep, and we're gonna bust our way through it. I gotta get around that first.
I'm gonna reel it in.